Extra, extra, read all about it. Well, actually, you can watch today as I interview an extraordinary Maui real estate professional, Stephanie Marshall of Blue Team Hawaii at Keller Williams Realty Maui. I was lucky enough to have her out to beautiful central Maui, and she happily agreed to sit down for a chat. Just one thing, I forgot to mention to her that this would be an interview of her. What could go wrong, yeah?
Hi.
Well, hello there.
How you doing?
Doing great. Come on in.
Oh, thank you.
Well, good afternoon, Stephanie. It's sure nice to see you today.
Oh, hey, Mike. How you doing? Thank you for having me here with you today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Oh, did I tell you that I plan to interview you?
Right now?
Oh, I guess I didn't tell you, did I? But while you're here, is it okay? I think everybody out there would like to know a little bit about Miss Stephanie Marshall from Blue Team Hawaii. Yeah?
Let's do it.
Okay. I don't like to spring things on you, but...
But you just did.
So, Stephanie, tell me, why did you decide to become a real estate professional?
Well, that's an interesting question. I don't think anyone actually goes to school and decides to become a real estate professional. My pathway took me on a circuitous route, and I was doing development and construction and managing affordable housing development for a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. And I was their RME, which is the contractor of record for doing construction. Mm-hmm. And we were doing multifamily affordable housing, and we thought, hey, why are we giving away this management fee to another company? So at the time, the decision was made that I would get my real estate license and we would property manage our own units. And then when redevelopment agency funds went away and lots of grant funding dried up, affordable housing became a thing of the past. And at that time, I decided to venture out on my own and become a full-time real estate agent.
What did you do to get started?
Well, I interviewed with a couple of different brokerages, and I found a very small boutique that I enjoyed, and I hung my license there. One of my most memorable events, I would say, once upon a time, when you had a student loan, lenders didn't take into consideration the debt that you would have to repay until that debt was having to be repaid. FHA, which is your first-time home buyers lending program, was changing their rules, and I had a couple. And they had been approved for an FHA loan. However, if they took into consideration her student debt, she would not be qualified. So we had 24, 48 hours to get her an FHA loan number, which means we have an approved contract that we've given to the lender. We were looking at houses close to midnight with a flashlight. And we found 2 homes. They made an offer on each home with a caveat to the owners that the first one to accept their offer within 24 hours was the property they were going to go with. Mm-hmm. And we found it. And they are still in that home today.
It shows how you can make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah, it's very important. I could have went home, but no, it was more important to get them into a house.
Yeah. So that said, in other ways, what makes you stand out from the crowd, from other realtors?
I approach real estate from a relationship perspective, not a transactional perspective. Those clients I'm still friends with today. I still do real estate reviews for them. That's an annual review of what the market says their home can offer at any given point. And that's important for a number of reasons. But that's what would make me stand out, is I build relationships. I don't just do transactions.
Mm-hmm. What is an odd request that you've received from a client?
Perhaps some of my oddest requests would be on land deals. Oftentimes, people who are prospecting land don't always want to go the traditional way, so they want to go on paper that they're going to pay a certain amount, and then they want to do a back-end deal with cash. Mm-hmm. And can't do that. That's going to get everybody in trouble, both the buyer, the seller, and the real estate professional. So I would say that's odd. But the interesting thing is, what might be considered odd to me isn't odd to anyone else, because it's their moment. They're trying to make their deal happen.
And perhaps what seems normal to you would seem odd to the rest of the world, yeah?
That's probably very true, yeah.
Why did you pick Maui to live your life and also to work your business?
Well, I think I was at a crossroads in my life. I had lost my home to a fire and everything in it. Mm-hmm. And shortly after that fire, I lost my oldest son. He was 21. And I had relocated to a community very close to the one where my home was lost, and lived in the same community as where my son was living. And after he passed away, it was just too hard to stay. And I had come to Maui once before, And I found it to be a very beautiful place, and I found the vibe to be incredible, and I found the people that live here to be very family oriented, very live the life and not get caught up in material things so much. It's all about the memories that you can make, and that's kind of the way that I was raised. And so it felt like a perfect fit. So I thought, why not? I've got to move somewhere. So why not move to a little piece of heaven?
Yeah. What advice would you give someone who is seriously considering making Maui their home?
I would say do it. I would say you're not guaranteed tomorrow. And if you don't live your best life today, then what are you doing? Yeah. Give me a call. I'll help you. We'll find it. We'll figure it out. Maybe you start here slowly. Maybe it's a short-term rental, and then maybe you transition into long-term housing. But I would love to help. Yeah.
Now, let's look at Blue Team Hawaii. What makes Blue Team Hawaii stand out from the rest of the pack?
Oh, so many things. So Blue Team Hawaii is a partnership. We come with a variety of backgrounds. I come from construction and redevelopment, grant funding, boots on the ground, multifamily, single family rehab, new construction. So I bring that lens. And then my partner used to own a real estate company, managed a real estate company, was on a top California real estate team, did transactions in other states, and had been a broker in Hawaii for, 20 years. And so we together, those experiences together make us very dynamic. Lots of people take classes from my partner. He's really good at negotiating. And so we have kind of like in the kitchen, the front of the house and the back of the house. We complement each other very well.
Yeah, sounds like a powerhouse team.
It's a powerhouse team.
Yeah. So what do you do for fun?
Oh gosh, I love to go to the beach. I love to snorkel and hike and explore new trails. I want to learn to surf. And I love going to different restaurants here on island and walking the neighborhood and meeting the people in the community. I have met some of the most awesome people. And so I just enjoy just taking it day by day and doing easy things.
Now, as a local resident of Hawaii, what are some of your favorite restaurants, as you mentioned?
Oh, to name a few, I really like Kimo's in Lahaina, and Thai Bistro Cafe in Kihei is really good. Love Polly's in Makawao. I go there often. And Flatbread Pizza is really fantastic in Paia. And there's so many other places I haven't explored yet.
Let's go a little deep here. Who from your childhood had the biggest impact on you? And what did you learn from that person?
Well, without limiting the impact my mom has had on my life, I would have to say my dad. My dad, because my dad, just all sorts of expressions. Shit is a shit word, and perhaps I shouldn't cuss during your interview. He made sure I knew how much he loved me all the time, because there was always an argument with somebody in your life, right? And if somebody died, you should never be left wondering how much the love was there, regardless of ill feelings at the time. And he brought me up to believe that. And he brought me up to believe that the best thing I could leave anybody on this planet isn't money, it's memories. It's the way I made them feel. And I think I gave that to my son. His friends tout that about him. He made people feel amazing. And that's what my dad taught me. And I'm happy to say I pass it along to my son as well.
So Stephanie, what does the future hold for you?
The future holds everything for me. It's a wide open book, and I'm just beginning to write it.
When that future is over, and what happens to you, as happens to the rest of us, when your life is over, how would you like to be remembered?
For the way I made people feel. I would like to be remembered for what my dad taught me. People aren't going to remember if I left them $5 or a diamond necklace or a car or a house, but they are going to remember the way that I made them feel and the memories we had together, and that I was true to my word. And I think that rises above anything else that I could hope to be remembered for.
And it seems to me like that also carries on what your dad taught you, paying it forward, yeah?
Yeah, that would be the best thing I could do, a good tribute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Stephanie Marshall, I would like to thank you for taking the time out of your day and agreeing to talk with me, even though I ambushed you.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Anything you would like to say to the world while we're still on camera?
You know, life is your oyster. The world is your gym. Just go out there and enjoy it. And if it wants to be Maui for you, give me a call. And I'd love to help you find that perfect home here in Maui.
Yeah. And if anyone out there, if you have a question about real estate, whether you plan to buy or sell or not, Stephanie Marshall is your neighborhood expert. By neighborhood, I mean the island of Maui. And feel free to reach out to her any way you can, email, text, or telephone. And
Yeah.
that's okay?
That's
Okay.
perfectly fine.
All right, well, Chaka out.
Shock out.